Mr. and Mrs. Darrell, as parents, first of all, we're approaching 6 months since that fateful day. Let's start with the investigation. Mr. Darrell, I know that you chat regularly with police. What are you being told so far, and what's your feeling on progress?
What I've been told so far is that the police have an idea as to who the culprit is, and they say that they're going to try and work with other police officials to try and bring the culprit to justice. I recognize that the police are short in terms of manpower, but at the same time, with everything that Detective Smith has mentioned to me, I would have expected that it would have been more progress by now.
No, you as parents know this is not the first time something like this has happened.
Mm-hmm.
Belinda, you said shortly after the incident that to this day when you drive across Ice Queen, you can't bear to even look at it.
I'm usually on the bus. I would have my head down in my phone just until we pass.
How does it make you feel as a parent to know that there were at least 50 to 60 people there when this incident occurred and no one has really said anything?
Well, I'm hurt, devastated. I just need closure. I need lots of closure because, like we said, it's coming up to 6 months. Justice needs to be served for Jonathan.
With regards to security, you had called for better security. Would you be surprised to hear that not much has changed? And what would you say to the owners of Ice Cream?
I would say to the owners that they need to do something about it because it's happened too often. It's not the first time that this has happened. So someone needs to step up to the plate and have some security at this particular place.
William, 6 months approaching, what would you say to the people of Bermuda who obviously have witnessed something and have not found it in their heart to come forward? We hear these catchy slogans, if you see something, say something. It's no secret that people filmed parts of this incident on cell phones, not the actual incident, but police stated in their press conference afterwards that they knew there were several people in the area and many of them filmed it on their cameras. What do you think about that, and what do you have to say to anyone who may know something?
What I think about that is if people have actually filmed it, send it to the police. Drop it off with a DVD, just drop it off to the police. It is evidence they need to help prosecute the culprit. If like you said, there was probably a lot of people there. I heard there were a lot. I heard there were a lot of people that saw it. They don't have to reveal who, you don't have to reveal your name. Just give just give over the information so that we can pull this case together, so that we both can get closure. It's difficult living every day knowing somebody's out there who knows something, and yet they won't come forward and say, okay, this is what I saw. That's all it takes. I understand some people don't get along with the police. Okay, that's fine. We're not asking you to get along with the police. We're just asking you, give the information that you have.
But we have a culture that looks dimly at what they call being a snitch.
Yes.
What do you say to that person?
I say to that person, you're not being a snitch, you're telling the truth. Telling the truth is not snitching. If you feel that you're snitching, then I don't understand why you would feel you're snitching. You're not, some of these people don't even know who the guy is. They may not even met him. But even if you know something, you saw something, say what you saw.
Exactly.
There's the Crime Stoppers, and I'm not trying to advertise for them. No. But at the same time, there are different venues that you can use to hand over your information. I would love to see a videotape of it.
Would you?
Yeah.
You could handle that?
I can handle that. I believe I can handle it. I don't know, I've never seen something like that on video.
Belinda, no parent should have to bury their child. Take me back to how you received the news.
My daughter called. She was at work and she received the news at work. I was just devastated when I did get the news. Couldn't believe it. I wouldn't wish it on any parent. No one should have to go through this. I mean, Jonathan was a loving child, just kind. Everybody knew him, and he was nicknamed as Merle. I don't know how he got that nickname, but that was his nickname, Merle. And I miss him. It's been 6 months.
Does it get any easier?
No, it doesn't. I wake up to an alarm where a young lady must have received this voicemail. Says, "Hello, good morning, beautiful. I want you to have a good day. You made my day," or something like that. I can't remember.
So you still have his voice?
Yeah, I wake up to the alarm.
Does it help?
Yes, it does. Every morning I wake up to his voice.
Jonathan was one of 4 sons. Parents never really get over the loss of one of their children, any child. It's something that doesn't go away. But when you hear families say, bring the culprit to justice so we can have closure, at the end of the day, nothing's going to bring him back. Does
No, it's not gonna
it
bring
really help to bring that does it help to know, would you sleep better, I guess, knowing that the man or persons responsible were brought to justice?
I wouldn't say I would sleep better. I would just want closure. You know, I don't think you ever get. I mean, it gets easier, but I just need closure. I don't think I would sleep better. Just need closure. That's it.
Would it help you to know that this person or persons were behind bars for what they did? It doesn't bring your son back.
No, it doesn't bring my son back. But I think what I'd like to do is have a conversation with him. Because obviously he's disturbed in his mind, and there are certain morals that aren't there that should be there. And in terms of closure for me, yeah, it would bring some closure for me. However, I would like to know further, why would you do this to somebody?
Yes. Why would you do that?
What did you get out of doing this to somebody? You know, what does it bring for you? Does it make you tougher?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, you know that it was a time murders were few and far between. Now we live in a community where you could wake up any day and hear of a murder.
Yes.
We've had a double murder.
Yes.
We've had murders.
Yes.
As a parent who have lost a child to murder, every time that news goes through, what happens to you? Does it bring back?
It does bring back. I'm like, oh my God, I know what that mother's going through, or father. You know, it's sad. The society that we live in, it's like a everyday norm, like a ritual. You know, and it shouldn't be. In fact, they all need Jesus. You know, the family structure has changed. It's not like it used to be. You know, I mean, we need a village to raise a child. I mean, it's just mind-boggling what these kids do, or even putting out videos that are gang-related. You know, it's just not right. That's it.
We're talking about people who maybe have lost a sense of caring about life
Sense
itself.
of caring about life itself. Yes, they're lost.
Now, boys in particular, siblings are close, but boys are very close, brothers.
Yes.
What's it done to the 4-brother unit that's now stripped down to 3?
That's a good question. One that I really haven't sort of thought about much, but I would think that based on my conversations with the 2 older brothers and the younger brother, yes, they're not happy with what happened. No, it's difficult for them in terms of why it happened, and you know, it's just difficult for them. You know, one of my sons actually visits Jonathan's grave every so often, and I know it's tough for him. You know, and I find that I have to check on him and reach out to him. But mind you, I check on all my sons. That's me. But I know it's difficult for them. They may not say much, but I know they feel it, because that is their brother. Yeah.
What would you say to anyone who may see this interview to encourage them to stand up for what's right, help heal a parent's wound? The general feeling about the fact that it's young black males killing each other. What would you say to these people hell-bent on just continuing it?
I would say to them, you know, even though it's difficult, put yourself in my shoes and think, if that was my son, if that was my brother, how would you feel about that? If someone else did something to someone you love, or someone who was your child, how would you feel? You would probably be angry, you'd be mad at the world, you'd be mad at that individual because of what they did. Who are they to take a life and then walk away from it like nothing happened? It disturbs me that this did happen and it's still happening. Why is it still happening? What does it make that individual feel? I mean, do you feel more powerful? Do you feel like you're like God? That you can just take a life? Wow. Where are we as a society?
It's symptomatic of maybe what's going on in the black family unit or lack thereof, isn't it?
It is.
What would you say in that regard?
In that regard,
Because it's us, killing us.
it is. And it's very disturbing. Yes.
As a mother, what would you say about this whole ordeal, the fact that you've had to struggle, you never really get over it? What would you say?
You've taken away a beautiful child, son. I mean, no parent should have to bury their child. The child's supposed to bury his parent. It would be commendable if you know something, come forward, speak up, just so that justice will be served for Jonathan. It's just, you need to think before you act and help your fellow man, you know.
Does it dim your hopes for the future? Young people, what they're up against today?
Does it dim my hopes?
Yeah.
No.
You're still eternally optimistic?
Yes. Yes. Definitely.
And if you had one thing to say to the investigating officers, that would be?
That's a good question. We'd like to see progress.
Speed up progress.
I think from the beginning when we spoke to the detective, the air was, oh, this looks like this might be a closed and shut case. We know. However, 6 months later, it's still we know, rather than we have done, we have accomplished. Knowing and accomplishing are two different levels. Let's take it a step higher and get something done.
So if nothing has happened by say this time next year, will it have been worse for you? Will you be more angry or just fed up? Or all of the above?
I would say all of the above. Myself, I'll be angry. If just everything. Something needs to be done. They need to stop talking and bring forth action to have this, this crime solved.